Okay, and I'm back. So, some of these chemicals I use all the time. Some of them I have never used, or maybe I've used them, I don't know, just a handful of times over. I've worked for Cascade Living for just under 3 years now, and I use this kit a lot, but there are things that are much more useful than others. Um, I used the kit at the last company I worked for also, and the chemicals that I don't use here, I didn't really use there either. So it could happen, but you know. So here at Mountain Glen, we get a lot of coffee spills. We also have residents that like to either chew gum, or they have like the red licorice whips, and or black licorice, or gummy bears or whatever. So looking at the chart here, and it's not like a perfectly comprehensive chart, but it's a good place to get started. So let's say we'll take coffee, because as I was just saying, that's a really common one. So on the chart, and it's all alphabetized, we find coffee, and this might, I don't know if I can't. Oh, I can zoom in. Sweet. Okay. If you can't make that out, that's a B for blot. And so they have a key here up in this area. So V is for dry vacuum, B is for blot with a clean towel, and so on and so on. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But on coffee, so there, and this is assuming that you get to the spot while it's still wet. So if that were to happen, you would blot up as much as you can with some towels. And then when it has these numbers, they organize. Let me zoom back out here. They organize these by number. So the first one is number 1. Guess what the second one is? That's right. Okay. So number 3 is called release. And the way the chart is organized here, let me come back in again on coffee here. So the way the chart is organized, when it has 2 of these numbers together in between 2 other steps, it means that you're to use them together, right? So we would blot, we would use number 3 and number 4 at the same time. The water droplet is for rinse. So on the demonstration I'm going to do today, I'm going to use a mini extractor. You can do that without an extractor, but it's a lot easier. So I would highly recommend you use a machine to do that if at all possible. Also, with a machine, you're going to get a lot of the chemicals out that you might leave if you're just doing this with towels and water. Anytime you leave chemicals in the carpet, you run the risk of resoiling or even damaging the carpet, because some of the chemicals in this kit are solvents. Some of these, like number 2, is a pretty strong solvent, and it can actually dissolve the glue in the backing of the carpet if you use too much of it. Number 1, which is a gel, will actually bleach carpets if you leave it in too long. So we don't want to leave chemicals in the carpet if that has to be kept down to an absolute minimum as much as we can. So. So back to coffee though. Get in here. Let's see. So okay, 10A and 10B. Actually, I'm going to come back to that. But we would use, there is a chemical number 10, and it is 2 parts, and then we would finish by rinsing. Okay. One thing that they don't address on the chart here is some basic carpet cleaning principles. So I'm going to get back in front of the camera and go over that now. Excuse me. So whenever, actually, I'm going to stop and start over again.